Greenland, a key to global dominance? Well, not quite. Today we're discussing how this icy island may actually be the unexpected epicenter of a new geopolitical power struggle.
Oh wow, that's quite a statement. What sparked this sudden interest in Greenland?
Well, it all started with former President Donald Trump making some pretty bold claims about Greenland's strategic importance to America. He went as far as calling gaining control over the Arctic island an absolute necessity. Now, you might think, Greenland? Really? But there's more to this story than meets the eye.
I'm intrigued. What exactly did Trump say that's caused such a stir?
So, get this. Trump made these controversial statements while announcing Ken Howery, co-founder of PayPal, as the nominee for U.S. ambassador to Denmark. Talk about dropping a bombshell, right? He essentially declared that acquiring Greenland is vital to ensuring America's national security and upholding freedom. As you can imagine, this didn't exactly go over well with Denmark or Greenland.
Oh, I can only imagine. How did they respond to such an audacious claim?
Well, Denmark's response was pretty swift and decisive. They unveiled a massive increase in defense funding for Greenland. We're talking about a $1.5 billion plan here. Denmark's defense minister, Troels Lund Poulsen, introduced this plan with what I can only describe as a touch of Nordic irony, calling it timely.
Wow, that's a significant investment. What does this defense initiative actually entail?
It's quite comprehensive, actually. They're acquiring 2 new inspection ships and 2 long-range drones. But here's the kicker. They're also reinforcing their Arctic operations with specialized dog sled teams. I mean, talk about combining high-tech with traditional Arctic methods.
Dog sled teams? That's certainly not something you hear every day in modern military strategy. What else are they planning?
Right? It's like something out of a movie. But they're not stopping there. They're also expanding the Arctic Command in Nuuk and, get this, upgrading a civilian airport to accommodate F-35 fighter jets. We're talking about some of the most advanced fighter jets in the world potentially being stationed in Greenland. It's a clear message if I've ever seen one.
That's a significant escalation. But I'm curious, is this really all about Trump's comments, or is there more to it?
That's a great question. According to some defense analysts, this initiative has actually been in the works for years. It's not just a knee-jerk reaction to Trump's remarks. Army Major Steen Kjærgaard from the Danish Defense Academy suggests that Trump's statements may have strategically pushed Denmark to accelerate these measures. It's like Trump inadvertently hit the fast-forward button on Denmark's Arctic strategy.
Interesting. So it seems like there are broader geopolitical forces at play here. What about the Greenlanders themselves? How are they reacting to all of this?
Well, they're definitely not taking it lying down. Greenland's Prime Minister, Mute Egede, had some pretty strong words in response to Trump's ambitions. He declared, and I quote, "Greenland belongs to its people. We are not for sale, nor will we ever be. Our sovereignty is not up for negotiation." It's a powerful statement that leaves no room for misinterpretation.
That's a clear and direct response. It sounds like this situation has really united the Danes and Greenlanders.
Absolutely. It's like a united front is forming against any potential American overtures. Danish MP Rasmus Jarlov from the Conservative Party is even demanding guarantees from Denmark to protect Greenland's sovereignty. He emphasized that if any actions by the U.S. aim to challenge Denmark's control over Greenland, they must be counteracted decisively.
And this isn't the first time Trump has shown interest in Greenland, is it?
You're right on the money there. Back in 2019, he actually proposed buying the island outright. It was a move that caught everyone off guard and sparked a minor diplomatic incident. Both Denmark and Greenland immediately rejected the idea, with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen calling it absurd. Trump, being Trump, didn't take the rejection well and even canceled his planned visit to Copenhagen.
So, what we're seeing now is like a snowball effect from that initial incident?
Exactly. It's like watching a snowball turn into an avalanche. And it's not just about the US and Denmark. This whole situation is unfolding against the backdrop of increasing rivalries in the Arctic. Russia, for instance, has recently staked claims to territories that reach into Greenland's exclusive economic zone. It's part of a broader strategy to assert dominance in the Arctic region.
Oh, so it's becoming a new frontier for international competition. But where does this leave Greenland itself?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. Greenland has had the right to declare independence since 2009, but its small population, only about 56,000 people, and its dependence on financial support from Denmark have kept it firmly within the Danish sphere. They're caught between a rock and a hard place, or should I say, between an iceberg and a glacier.
That's quite a predicament for such a small population. How do you think this is affecting the average Greenlander?
You know, it's likely a mix of excitement and concern. On one hand, all this attention could bring economic opportunities and development to Greenland. On the other, there's probably worry about losing their unique culture and way of life. It's a delicate balance between maintaining their cultural identity and engaging with the wider world.
It's fascinating how this remote, icy island has suddenly become the center of international intrigue. What do you think the future holds for Greenland?
Well, if I had to make a prediction, I'd say we're going to see Greenland playing an increasingly important role in global politics and economics. Climate change is opening up new shipping routes and access to natural resources in the Arctic, which makes Greenland's strategic position even more valuable. We might see increased investment in infrastructure, tourism, and resource extraction. But the big question is whether Greenland can leverage this attention to benefit its people while maintaining its autonomy.
That's certainly a lot to consider. Any final thoughts as we wrap up?
Yeah, I think the Greenland situation is a perfect example of how global politics can shift in unexpected ways. It reminds us that in our interconnected world, even the most remote places can suddenly become globally significant. As we move forward, it'll be crucial to watch how Greenland navigates these choppy geopolitical waters. Will it remain part of Denmark, move towards independence, or become a new focal point of international cooperation or conflict in the Arctic? Only time will tell.
Well, that's certainly given us a lot to think about. Thanks for this fascinating discussion on Greenland's unexpected role in global politics.
Absolutely. And remember, folks, the next time someone mentions Greenland, you'll know there's a lot more going on there than just ice and polar bears. It's a complex web of history, politics, and strategy, all playing out on the world's largest island. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode of Gen FM.